Darnold Sunday. Bad game or bad sign?
I mean, I hate to say it, but I think it's a bad sign. I was one who held out hope and kind of thought that the big game thing, we made too much of it for Sam Darnold, but it's hard to continue to deny the thing that keeps happening. The 2 games against the Rams last year, and of course, the late game against the Lions last year, and then this is the first kind of really major opportunity. We hyped it up all week. This is Sam Darnold's chance, and he didn't throw 1 or 2. He threw 4 interceptions. Like, the fact that the Seahawks defense was so good that he still had a chance at the end and almost led them on a game-winning drive. So, like, he's still very good, but the idea that he's raised to that level of play that his numbers suggest that he is, that still is.
You don't want to do the LeBron with interceptions. Not 1, not 2, not 3. If nothing else, the Rams are in his head, right? I mean, it certainly looks like the Rams.
That's what I was going to say. There's sometimes you just get bad matchups. Teams just play you well. I know for us it was the Chargers. Like Peyton would have bad days against some of those. Sometimes they just get your number and it just goes that way.
They'll play again in the regular season. Next one, J-Mac. Bad game or bad sign for J.J. McCarthy on Sunday?
I'm going bad sign on J.J. McCarthy. And I know he hasn't played a ton of football, but the amount of misses out there throwing the ball, 19 misses when guys are open by 3 or more yards, that's just not good enough. And then this is on top of he's on a roster that was designed to win now, that let go of 2 other quarterbacks for J.J. McCarthy. Under Kevin O'Connell, we had high expectations for him to get out there and perform. We haven't seen that so far this year.
And I mean, there's so many circumstances that are not his making that put all this extra pressure on J.J. McCarthy, right? His entire draft class. They let Sam Darnold go. All these things are not things that are his fault, but they go into the conversation.
Fair, but the counterpoint is, it's freaking Justin Jefferson. Get it somewhere near him, and he will catch the ball. To be missing that badly over and over again, I mean, I don't know. It's great that he plays great in the fourth quarter, but you got to get to the fourth quarter with the game still in reach.
And a little bit of touch just seems to be missing on the shorter stuff. Meanwhile, Jeff, let's do one more quarterback. Bad game, bad sign. Justin Herbert blown out in Jacksonville.
This is a bad sign for me. Look, you got injuries all over. Hampton's been banged up. The offensive line is banged up. They don't have much of a run game, so they're not built for this. But the Jags had 30 first downs. I don't even think Justin Herbert played 30 plays. Like, that's a bad sign. Like, that's just a beatdown of epic performance. And I hate it for them because we had such high expectations. They started fast, but the injuries have obviously shown themselves, and that's not pretty.
If you see the standings as we speak right now, the Chargers would be in the playoffs should the season have ended after this weekend. And as you see on the right side of your screen, the Kansas City Chiefs would not. 5-5 through 10 games and a date looming with the Colts this weekend. So this was a game that we had been pointing to for a while as, well, this is when we'll find out if the Colts are for real. Instead, we may be looking at a game here, Dan, that is an absolute must-win for Kansas City.
It absolutely is. Look, they went into this stretch. They had Denver last week, then Indy, then they have Dallas on Thanksgiving. They feel like they have to come out of that at least 2-1, which means now they got to win the next 2. And in Denver, I was there on Sunday. I had the sideline duty for the radio broadcast, and Denver was better than they are. Denver's better than they are. They were the better team. The 2025 Broncos are better than the 2025 Chiefs, and it looked that way for almost the entire game. Still, I'm standing there on the Broncos sideline at the end, and nobody was exhaling until that ball went through the uprights because there's still that's Mahomes over there. Yeah. That's Mahomes and Andy. The problem is those guys aren't doing what they're supposed to do. Like, you count, like the Chiefs were 11-0 in one-score games last year. They're 0-5 in one-score games this year. That's regression to the mean. We expect that from any team. The problem is the Chiefs are not supposed to be just any team. They are supposed to be the team that, in a close game, they have the difference makers. Yeah. Patrick Mahomes is going to do something incredible. Andy Reid's going to draw up something incredible. Chris Jones is going to finish it off with a big sack. Those guys, to this point this year, have not performed like that in those moments, and that is what's missing. And if that's gone from the Chiefs, then, yeah, they are in danger of missing
left out Spags is going to dial up the perfect blitz on the third down in the fourth quarter. That's most important. Like, those things haven't happened this year. You have the tipped interceptions in the red zone. Like, I honestly think this team is not much worse or better than the team last year. Yeah. They're a lot less lucky. And, like, when we said it last year, they made us all look stupid all the way up to the Super Bowl. We were like, hey, this team isn't really all that good. But it's kind of having the regression point is like, yeah, those lucky plays, those blocked field goals, it was kind of like poetic, to use the Jerry Jonesism, that this last game ended the way that it did because they blocked that field goal to win that game last year against the Broncos.
So as they play your beloved Indianapolis Colts this weekend, What are the feelings? Again, this was a game that I thought was going to be a measuring stick game for the Colts. Instead, it feels like the Chiefs absolutely have to have it.
No, it's a must-win for the Chiefs. It's a must-win, in my opinion, for the Colts as well. It can't be built up more than it is. I mean, you're talking about two teams, one that wants to prove where they are and really needs to keep pace with the Patriots, right? Like understanding that whoever gets home field, that matters, right? And so for the Colts, playing there in Lucas Oil will matter. What you saw from the Chiefs, this didn't just happen. Like this has happened in whether it was Buffalo, whether it's Denver, whether it's Philly. Like the Chiefs, they don't take leads anymore, and they can't run the ball. Their offensive line gets pushed around at times. Every quarterback's kryptonite is pressure, and Mahomes has gotten a lot of pressure. And I'm just telling you, they're as good as their defense is, their defense isn't as good as the other people's defenses now, and that's a problem.
It's a game we used to play on the radio. It's a 1 o'clock game, too. This feels like it should be that 4:25 game. Eagles-Cowboys is the big national game, but this obviously is one of the monster games of the season. We used to play a game called Guess the Spread, Colts at Chiefs. Who wants to guess what the point spread is? I'm looking at the number right now on ESPN Bet.
I'm saying Colts favored by 2.
Yeah, by 3, Colts.
Oh, I would say 1.5.
Kansas City is a 3.5-point favorite. What? The Chiefs are a 3.5-point home favorite against the 8-2 Colts.
Are they still the Super Bowl favorites too?
The Chiefs, they fell from being the first favorite, I believe, to third after Sunday.
We had Fortenbaugh here on Friday talking about why were the Chiefs favored in Denver, and the point is, like, if they weren't, then all the money would be on the Chiefs because the public still perceives them the same way.
Yeah.
And I think to some extent, some of their opponents still perceive them that way as well. But we're having weekly evidence that maybe they're not quite the same.
And I feel like last year in that Super Bowl game, I think for the rest of the NFL, you looked at the Chiefs a little bit different when you watch what the Eagles did to them and completely dismantled them. And now we're watching a Chiefs team that's just not making the plays. Rashee Rice dropping the ball, Travis Kelce dropping the ball, Mahomes missing 2 open guys to start the game
and the
on deep
interception
passes. So it just looks like a different team this year.
I mean, I think teams are looking at them slightly differently, but they're still the Chiefs. I guarantee you that everybody's rooting for the Colts this week.
Ain't no doubt.
The whole AFC is like,
everybody.
Please get them out of the playoffs. Please keep them out of the
And I
playoffs.
have
He's
no
awfully
question
good
about that. But look, the defense doesn't have to be the 85 Bears. Like, all they have to be is just sort of not the worst.
Right.
Because that offense is so good. This Eagle game this Sunday is fascinating. Eagles are having major trouble scoring. And I think, we'll see. I mean, the Eagles will be favorites and deservedly so.
They are.
But if the Cowboys can put up 33 on them, then I would think they got a chance to win.
Not winning, but scoring.
The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites at Dallas on Sunday. We're going to talk a lot about that game coming up because both teams are interesting. The Cowboys played their way back into interesting last night, and the Eagles want to win every game 13-10. And I don't think you can beat the Cowboys 13-10, right? I don't think.
They find out.
As good as that, I mean, look, the Eagles' defense has been ridiculously good. The acquisition of Jalen Phillips has made them even better. But do you think they're holding that team to 10 points?
Possibly, yes. What we've just seen them do to other really good teams and good offenses. We need Dallas to go out there against an Eagles defense, against the guys that they have lined up across from them, and be able to put up that type of production before we're going to say, yes, they're relevant.